Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roundtable with the Stream Team. And this is when we talk to amazing content creators and their journeys and what they're doing today and how things are progressing in their, in their content creator lives. We've been doing a lot of different people, and we've been doing people from streaming, from Mixer, from Twitch, from YouTube, and all over. And today we have a little bit of different path we wanted to take. With us going to PAX East right around the corner, we wanted to start bringing our writers from our lordsofgaming.net website in here. And today we welcome to the roundtable our friend Macho tonight. How are you doing, Macho? How's things?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much for coming and hanging out. We will probably be calling you Macho. We'll be calling you Hector because we know you as both. So don't be afraid of that. So I'm happy that you can come along and take a little bit of your time. You are another vampire that I had no idea that you were on that vampire life just like everybody else.
Yeah, man, we run on coffee. It's coffee in front of the computer screen all night. That's what we do.
Coffee and the Red Bull, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. That's how that's how all of us guys run. That's why they call Java Java. That's what it's from. So
Oh, really? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
that's why it's called Java. And we have our other panelists here today. We have MJ as a boss. What is going on, bud?
It's popping.
Oh, things are well. I'm happy that we're gonna trademark that term.
Mhm.
I'm loving it. I want it. I want to make sure we stake our claim on it forever.
Yep.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for coming today. Thanks for taking your time out to join.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And we have our lady of the panel, El Boogie. How are you?
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
How are you? Things are well this week.
Yeah, pretty good. Monday, so
Yeah,
it's
Mondays.
good.
Yes, yeah. It's the painful part. It's like, oh, I gotta get up, and I want to go to work, but we do it anyway.
Basically,
Yeah, we do it for all of our Xbox games and going to our E3 and conventions and things like that.
yeah. Are you still don't know, right? If you're gonna get out to E3.
I probably won't be able to. Me and my wife were talking about taking a vacation this year together, so that will probably take my money from E3, and that will be thrown to that. So I will probably be sad and not be able to make it, even though this is probably one of the best years to go. So it makes me a little sad, but I gotta do what's good for the fam. So for all I know, I might come down to see you one day. I'll take the train down.
Sounds good to me.
Great. So why we're here, what we wanted to do was we wanted to ask our friend Hector here, Macho, why did you decide to become a content creator? Why did you decide to start writing for lordsofgaming.net? And what drives you? What's your passion? Things like that. So why don't you go ahead and tell us all of these amazing things?
Sure. So, I guess like kind of like a too long didn't read kind of vibe to this. Kind of like my background here is that when I was in college, I was a gamer all my life first and a huge Disney fan growing up. So immediately I was gravitated
Yes.
towards that experience of just musicals, and it came from my sister and all that stuff. So that kind of like just gravitated towards games and just the interactive experience, and it really kicked off when I played Kingdom Hearts for the first time, and that was just my bread and butter for gaming. That was like how everybody's first like video game for them, like that made them get into games was Metal Gear Solid because it was so cinematic. That's how it was for me with Kingdom Hearts.
I gotta
Um,
ask you one question. When you have you played Kingdom Hearts lately?
oh yeah, I'm totally up to date with everything.
All right, so but like, Have you played Kingdom Hearts 1 since they remastered it and put it out?
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
so I played the original also, loved it, fantastic game. It's one of my favorites, and I tried playing it for my wife, and my wife was looking at me, and she was just like, "How are you playing this? This is drives me
Really?
crazy." I was like, all right. We're going to bed. I will not play this again with you here. I was like, hands over, and we're done. So, and I'm so, just a little fun tidbit, but
That's hilarious though, because I started playing Kingdom Hearts with my girlfriend, like I think the year we started dating, and she absolutely loved it. She played the rest of them.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, like
Yeah, so it's fortunate to
yeah,
say the
you're
least.
lucky. You rolled the dice and you're happy. Um, you were saying Disney. What kind of
Oh
like makes you
yeah.
excited about Disney?
Well, it was just growing up with it. I grew up with like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, all the stuff my sister was into, The Lion King, my older sister. So it was just kind of just naturally was a part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And in college, I was going for criminal justice, a degree in criminal justice, and then one day I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I was so bored with it that I decided just to move towards content creation, whether it
Mm-hmm.
be video, writing. So ever since then, which is about like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I just started working and building my resume towards that. And one thing led to another where I started writing for the Weapon Wheel podcast when they had the website up.
Mm-hmm.
That led to me getting my graduate degree in journalism and digital media. Then I started working for Comic Book Resources. I'm a freelance writer there currently. And then Eric Cuts for the Win, who's a known YouTube
Mm-hmm.
writer on the Crumb side of here, she told me about Lords of Gaming and introduced me to COG and everybody else. And then I applied, and it's been smooth sailing from there. It's been nothing but great things with everybody. I've been so welcomed by the LogNet community. It's been unreal, and I'm totally grateful for everything. So
What would you say is your favorite part about the Lords of Gaming community right now?
it's definitely just the community feeling about it, because
Yeah.
there's certain communities I'm a part of, even the Kingdom Hearts community to some degree, where it just felt like everybody was kind of distant from each other, and you are the internet friend. But when it came to LogNet, it felt way more than just you're my internet friend. We're actually cool. Like we're part of this grand, not plan, but just again this grand part of grand group. Just that we're all working together and we all love the same thing. So why not make the best of what we can do with it? So.
Would you say that it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like you have support. Like you're like if you need something and you can't get to it, you can ask. Like we have
Oh
like
yeah, definitely.
no, I know that like MJ and myself, we both write for Lognet.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean MJ, you would agree, right? Like that we
Yeah.
have this amazing support system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if I know that if I have a problem with an article, or if I'm reading an article and I'm like, oh, I
Somebody's
don't,
always there to help.
yeah, like I'm like I can't get this correctly done. Cog, can you do it? Or I'll send it off and be like, yo, Diz, I was like, I got this article. I think it's done, but I'm like, this paragraph sounds wrong. Can you look over it? Or I'll ask on Dad or Frost, and those guys are there. They're like huge support to kind of help push us to what's right, what's good, and what looks right on paper.
Yeah. It's been a blessing. Like I said, it's just again from the get go, it's been all about support, and no matter what, they focus on your voice and what you want to say while also adhering to quality, because they do want good stuff on the website, right? You
Mm-hmm.
want to have good representation, and that's so the most I can do is bring out quality content for them if they're willing to support my voice. And they've been more than willing, so I've been extremely grateful about that.
Yeah. So you were saying before that you do different types of content creation. What other do you do any other type of content creation other than just the writing portion for Lognet, or another website or anything like that, or
Well, yeah, I do write freelance for Comic Book Resources. It's the same kind of uh, not writing style, I guess, but it's the same kind of thing when it comes to Lognet, where you're writing about entertainment. It's a comic resource for a more gambit of things like movies, television, comics, other than video games, and stuff like that. Um, and I also, for my full-time job, I work for my local news station. So I go to work and I literally write content that's based from the broadcast and the shows.
mm-hmm.
So I just take everything that they say on the air and I put it into a nice web format so that people can read it online.
That's
So
pretty
that's
interesting.
yeah. It's it's hard work, but it's worth it because you learn, all the nooks and crannies when it comes to efficient writing and what to include, what not to include. So it's good, and it's what I love to do, which is writing, and this is where I want it to be. So I'm looking towards the next step. Obviously, I'm going to see going more to entertainment media with
Right.
video games or movies, but for right now, it's a great start.
What would you say is kind of like your dream? You're like, I'm talking like being like a writer. Like where would you want to project yourself? Like writing novels, or like writing just like the news articles for websites, or where do you think?
Yeah, so one of my things I always wanted to do was to write a book.
Mm-hmm.
We go into fantasy because I love the fantasy genre when it comes to just reading. So I always want to dabble into that, and one day I will definitely publish my own book. Um, but as far as like a dream job, it's always been to work for Disney and Disney World specifically, or the
Mm-hmm.
Disney movie studios, on like the promotional side or working on a movie itself, writing a movie, or even the video game side too. I would love to do that, just to be part of like the social media or the public relations marketing kind of thing. I just love writing. I love video. I love making videos too. So anything when it comes to that kind of creativity, I'm all for.
Yeah. So, couple little cool tidbits. If you ever think you're gonna want to write a book, right? And you think, man, it's so far beyond my reach. It's never gonna be something that I'll be able to achieve. Um, I have a nice long commute. I have about an hour to an hour and a half commute from where I live into close to the city. And what ends up happening is like your mind wanders and you kind of think of things and this and that and the other thing. And I started getting these ideas for a book. So I actually started like jotting down my ideas of what I wanted to do, produce a plot, and all that other stuff. And I actually ended up over the course of about 3 months, I produced a plot for a book, and, for just from driving back and forth to work. And I'm not talking about like full end writing. I'm just talking about like ideas. So what I ended up doing from there is I started taking my hour long lunch, and I started like plugging away at it. And before I knew it, I actually have a about a 350 page book done, to the point where I just need my amazing wife, who's an amazing content reader. She reads a lot of books to go through it, edit it, so that I can kind of go over it and see where we can go with it. But it shows that even if you have a little bit of an idea or a little bit of a want, you can always find a little bit of time to figure out what you're going to do with it. And if that's something you dream of doing, that is something that you can do. You just gotta make a little time for it, and then you kind of like nibble away at it, and then eventually you'll have it done. So it's
No, you're right. Yeah.
yeah, I support you in that, and I want I want you to be able to you know tell me, eventually, hey, I'm done with this thing, and I want to see it, because those are the things that when people are passionate about things, they'll make time for them, and it seems like you do that with your articles, because I've read multiple ones of your articles, and they're great, and I just something off the top of my head was the picture that you sent me that I'm gonna put as your thumbnail. Um, was that at was it called Distant Worlds? The
No, no, that was at the World of Trace Orchestra for Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, okay.
That's my second video game concert I went to. Well, yeah, one of two, or the second one being the only of two, which is both Kingdom Hearts concerts.
Mm-hmm. Is have you gone to like the Broadway shows and stuff? Because you're Connecticut based, right?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I haven't gone as much as I would like to.
Mm-hmm.
But the last time I went was to see Come From Away. I went with my girlfriend, and it's based on the flights that went to I think a little town. And I don't know. I'm blanking on like the actual story details, but it was basically after 9/11 when all the flights had to be redirected
Mm-hmm.
to somewhere else, and how the little town kind of like pitched in and to make sure everybody was safe and fed and all that stuff. It's a good show. Good
Oh, it's
show.
good, good. Did you have you seen the Disney shows?
Yes, yeah. I actually took my girlfriend to go see The Lion King 'cause that's her favorite movie,
Yeah.
and oh my God, it was
Did you go up
worth
high?
everything.
Were you in orchestra or were you up top in the balcony?
I went for a balcony for the
Good.
first time Lion King, just so that she can see. Because if have you seen it before?
I have seen I've seen a bunch of Broadway shows back in my college days. Let me get my walker and because I'm an old man. But like my wife and I, we try to make this plan to go every year now, to at least go to one. But I used to go to a lot, and I saw Lion King back in I think 2003, 2004.
Yeah,
And
it's
we were up in the
fantastic.
balcony. Yeah, it was great. Elle, you should do
It's
it.
in that I want
Yeah, I was
to.
supposed to do that Harry Potter thing you told me about, but
Oh, I
I
heard that was
never
good
did
too.
it.
Harry Potter
Yeah.
is so good.
It sounds like, especially the three of us, need to just go to Disney World. I mean,
I'll do
Man, I'm
it.
down. I'm down. I'm making
see,
that
look at
plan this
that.
year. I'm making
I
that
want to
plan this
go. I
year.
want to go so bad. Like, it's only a 12-hour drive from here. And like, I used to live in Altadena, which is only 45 minutes from Disneyland. So I used to go like every other weekend, and
Oh,
I haven't been able to
bet.
go in forever. And it's sad.
You got to go during a real special time because me and my girlfriend went last year and
What's
it was awesome.
what's the best time?
Well, we went during March because of that's when she was finishing up with school
Mm-hmm. It
for
wasn't
break,
crazy though
and
for spring break.
it wasn't that crazy because her spring break was a week after everybody else's spring break.
Well, like during the whole month of March, basically somebody is on spring break.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Yeah.
know that for Disneyland, like just that whole month of March, you just didn't want to go because all the little kids were out and they were buttholes.
When I went last time I went, it was May, right?
Oh, okay.
And we went when all the kids were finishing school. So all
Yeah.
the kids,
At grad night.
parents, yep, they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna just drop them off at Disney World," and I was just like, "Leave me alone! It's on a
Yep.
vacation."
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like half the time we were playing Dodge the kid stroller, but other than that, it was actually pretty good. It wasn't that bad.
You just gotta push them out of the way. Be like,
Oh yeah,
"Go
yeah.
first."
As you know, it's like you're from Connecticut or you're in New York, you just learn how to walk in crowds and just
Exactly.
brush through everybody. Yeah, so we kind of just adapt that to Florida, and we're just like going through like every little space we could find just to get where we need to get to.
Okay, so I don't know if I ever told you guys, but like we went one year for Gay Days. It's like an unofficial day, but Gay Days at Disneyland.
Okay.
And I basically put the date in my calendar so that I would never go again because it was just a bunch of people who hate children at Disneyland.
Oh
I was just
God.
like, I cannot believe you all took over the park and you hate children. Like, why are you here? Why are you here? Like, you can't hate kids and be at Disneyland. Like, I don't get it.
The audacity.
Oh man. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. MJ's just like, "Yep, I'm just here in college."
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
I get to drink
Just
my
eat my
beers on the
ramen.
weekends. Mm-hmm. Oh, eating ramen. I started drinking gourmet ramen because adulting. That stuff is actually pretty good.
What the hell is gourmet ramen?
So it's like literally a chef. It was like, okay, I'm gonna make ramen noodles, and then like put the ramen noodles together with spices and stuff. It's not like cup.
You mean like at a
noodles.
restaurant, or is it like at the grocery store?
It's like at the grocery store. So like the grocery store has actual like ramen, just like the like the cup of noodles, which is essentially the college version of ramen. But like, this is like the legit ramen. Like this is like good ramen. Like it has like good noodles in it, like fresh this and fresh that, and everything's all together. It's actually pretty good, and it's actually not that bad for you. I was just looking at it and I was like, huh, the salt content is actually doable. But yeah,
Oh, you have to put that in the DM.
oh yeah, I'll send you some pictures. I mean, it's like they're like $2 a container, and I'm just like, all right, this is good. I'll eat this. This is quick and easy for me. So, so let's bring this back because we'll tangent once again. So we I know that you, me, who else is going? King, Cog, Shaft, and Bob, I think it is. I think we're all the ones that are going to PAX this year from Lords of
I
Gaming,
think
right?
so.
Right.
I think so. Yeah, it's a handful of people.
There's a handful of us. So how did you feel like when you told the guys, hey, I'm coming to PAX with you guys. I'm excited to go and we'll to interview people and talk. How what was like your big highlight of like I'm excited to do this moment when that happened, like the anticipation type thing.
Well, at first I was initially hesitant, because when they were bringing it up, I wasn't sure because it was only like a couple months since I've been with Lords of Gaming, so I wasn't really sure how to feel these guys out,
Mm-hmm.
or anything of that nature. But I decided just to take the dive for it because it's an opportunity I just could not give up.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go for it. And then when everything was official and we all were, getting our rooms and everything else, it really started to settle in like the beginning of January. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this year is really going to be awesome because I get to start by going to PAX and talking to game developers and doing all the stuff that I've been wanting to do for years at this point,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I decided to change my college degree and go with digital media and journalism instead of just criminal justice. It's all been leading to this, and this is like the first step. This is the first stone to cast in the water. Then, man, it's awesome. Again, I'm super super excited just to finally get in there and talk to developers and
Mm-hmm.
talk about their passion in the game that they've been working so hard on, and just to tell other people about it. It's cool. It's really really cool.
It's really when you'll see when you go and like MJ was him myself and Cog, we were actually the team one team last year, and from walking up to a developer and asking him those questions, you almost like feel it, like you feel the essence coming off them. You're gonna absolutely be in love with it. MJ, what was your like top moment like when we went last year and we were walking around to people talking to people.
Probably just getting to know the developers one-on-one
Yeah.
and getting to play stuff early and having them, like, the actual developer talk you through how to play it instead of, like, you know what I mean? Instead of, like, waiting in line and not having somebody who made the game help you guide you through.
Yeah, it's really amazing, and I know that like one of the games that kind of like stood out in my brain last year, and
Messenger.
Messenger was great with those guys, and we'll probably end up seeing them again this year. But I was gonna say meeting the guys that made Streets of Rage.
Oh yeah, Streets of Rage. That was a good one.
that was one of my favorite moments of PAX East last year. And it wasn't the fact that like MJ got whooped like in the first 5 minutes of the game. And I look over to Cog and I go, Cog, how far do you want me to go with this? And he's like, beat the level. And like you just and I instantly like put my game face on. And you're like, game face on. And then you like kind of like power through. Like when you're did you ever play like the old like Streets of Rage or anything like that?
Me? No, I did not.
No, I figured you haven't. Hector, how about you?
No, I have not.
Oh my god, it's they're side scrollers, kind of like Double Dragons and things like that. And I know Elle has probably played similar games to that.
Side scrollers, right?
Yeah, the side scroller type games.
Yeah, I remember Streets of Rage. I can't remember like. I don't think that was anything that I played like consistently, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I put my game face on and I beat the level, and like Cog was just like screaming and yelling and so excited. It was just like crazy. And like the developers were kind of like a little like confused, like how did this happen? And then like we go outside and we started talking to them and we kind of showed them what was going on, like what we were all about. And you felt the passion that these guys brought because they literally brought this dead franchise back to life. And hopefully we'll get to go see those guys and you can kind of meet them and it's really awesome. And then the Kingdom Come Deliverance guys are going to be there. This year we actually spoke to those guys, and we're going to probably be seeing them. And it's got great feeling, and I'm happy that you can come and kind of see that and enjoy it with us. And the Lords of Gaming side for the website now. Are you gonna try to like write more articles for them, for like PAX or just specific content, or what do you think your plan is for that?
Well, we haven't really talked too much about like our plan of attack yet because we're getting a lot of the press emails right now. But I mean, the idea I had in my head was maybe there's a lot of really great panels going on that could be really cool to be a part of and just witness. And maybe if I pull the press card, maybe I could make an interview with like a panelist, or if there's something when it comes to games, maybe doing like a special story piece when it comes to this developer's game.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the stories that always interested me that came from sites like, for instance, Kotaku, they'll not only tell why this game's special, but they'll tell a story behind why it's special,
Mm-hmm.
such as maybe it's a localization issue or something they overcome. And I want to see if I can look for something like that. If I can find that one story that can tell a really, really great and inspiring story about a game developer and their game coming out, I'll be happy.
That's really nice. That's something that, like, we'll have to keep an eye out for, and something, because I never actually thought of something like that. I never thought of going to a panel, seeing those developers and communicating with them and trying to talk to them. I never thought of that. I have one friend who she does she works for a non-for-profit for disabled. She produces braille dice. She makes them literally on a 3D printer in her house. And I saw her last year on one of the panels with with other people that have different disabilities, and meeting them and talking to those guys, they all have amazing stories, and I never thought of trying to communicate with them with, like, like, instead of it being developers and trying to get background stories. It's really a nice in-depth thought conversation for that. That's really cool. That's good.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, again, I just love stories. I love telling stories, so that kind of just adds to that, as well as saying, well, this game is cool and that game is awesome. I think there's a lot more to it than just promoting other games or saying why this game is really cool. There's a lot of stories to be told behind the curtain, and I think as writers and as people who are super passionate about this industry, we kind of have an obligation to tell those stories, right? A lot of them been telling about crunch in the workforce, which is all important stuff. And one of the other things that I wanted to highlight was diversity in gaming. There's not like a whole lot of it. So I kind of want to break the mold on that and see what we can do. And one of the panels actually at PAX is I think it's called it's something along the lines of like ethnic developers and disappointing your parents or something like that, which is something I'm really interested in, because I'd say like my parents disappointed like my career choice. They've always been supporting me, but there's always expectation in my family, at least since I'm Hispanic, is that there's always like to reach for the doctor or the lawyer or something like that. That was always kind of like a highlight growing up, but that's not what I want to do. It's not my passion. So
how did your parents feel when you decided that you were going to change from criminal justice to media journalism?
I was pleasantly surprised by they were fully supportive of it. I was a junior when I told them that I was not happy with what I was doing and I want to go. I basically told them I want to go work for Disney. I want to go write. I want to do that. And then they just looked at me like, well, you got a lot to do, but so go do it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just a wrap from there. So they kind of just left it in my hands. And ever since then, it's been the way it is now. So I've been fully supported by them and everybody else. And it's been a blessing.
Yeah, that's really great. It's good to have that support and that backing to be able to want your dreams to come true. So it's really good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. So
yeah. Are you planning to go to any other conventions other than PAX East this year, or?
not in this, not really, just because PAX is one of the ones that I just kind of like out of nowhere, and I do it just to do it, just to get those opportunities. But I have the Disney trip with my girl and a couple other plans that I got going on this year, so I had to take a little bit on the lighter side. School loans kills me when it comes to my paycheck, so I gotta be careful with that.
Oh, school loans.
Yeah,
How
never
wants those.
It's a killer for sure.
Yeah, as Elle would say, try to make it to E3.
Yeah,
Isn't
right? I mean, yeah, just go to Disneyland and hit E3 too.
See that?
That's a good idea.
See that? You could do both.
That's what I plan on doing. Like, because my annual pass expires like at the end of June too. So I'm just like, well, I'm definitely going to E3 then, so that I can go to Disneyland.
When is E3?
It's like the 6th to the 11th, something like that.
Of June?
Yeah.
Oh, you are going to flood Instagram once again with Disney
yeah.
pictures, and I'm.
That's me too.
Oh, I forgot you're going too, there, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to Disneyland, although he should.
I might. Is it expensive? Probably is.
Yes.
You'll go.
It's like
You'll
least
go.
it's like it's $150 to go.
Oh.
The thing that boggles my mind about Disney, the way that they do their ticket pricing, is like, if you're gonna buy a ticket and you're gonna get like 3 days, the price of the tickets like diminish over time. So like your first day will be $100, the next day will be like $80, so the next day after that will be $60. So it's like each day diminishes so that the price is cheaper.
Well, because I'm, military, I can get military tickets, so they're a lot cheaper. So I can get like, I think before I left, it was like $188 for 4 days, and you didn't have to use it 4 days consecutively, and you only had to block out like during Christmas. So,
but why would you want to go during Christmas?
Because it's the best.
But like,
Yep.
You're talking about like just during Christmas or when they put the winter lights up?
Right. So Christmas.
Oh, so it's going to be from the end of November.
Well,
So all
no.
the
You
time?
have like that week of Christmas. You
Oh.
can't go like
don't
with
know.
those tickets. But I don't know. Like being in California, like if you live in California, you really don't get that type of like Christmas spirit unless you're at Disneyland. Like it's not snowing outside. It's fucking 80 degrees. So if you want it to feel like Christmas, you're going to Disneyland or Knott's Berry Farm or something.
Are you sad that you haven't gotten any snow yet?
Yes, I am very sad we haven't gotten snow yet.
We haven't gotten snow either. Oh no, that's a lie. We got snow like once. We got snow once this year so far, and it was like gone within hours. But it's been freezing. It has been pretty bad up here.
Yeah, like we've been
I
getting
hate
like
the cold. But...
Yeah, like why I have like super cold days and no snow.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wake up and it's like 17 degrees outside.
It was 55 today, and I was like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah, it was 70 here today.
Oh my god, shorts weather.
Yeah, but
anyhow, so, Hector, did you end up like producing, like a YouTube page? Or
I have, yeah.
Like, you do. So
yeah.
Why are you laughing when I say that?
Because I was talking to my girlfriend about this earlier, where she was like, "Are you gonna talk about YouTube page?" I'm like, "I don't know about that one." It's because like the thing is, when I started YouTube on one channel, and then a whole bunch of embarrassing videos later, started another one, more embarrassing videos. And I just used it mostly as like a kind of like a side thing for when I was in graduate school, just for video projects.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, every time I bring it up, my girlfriend always brings up that one stream I did where I was feeling really nice and tipsy and playing Overwatch, and there's a lot of dancing involved. So,
so were you ending up streaming and then putting it on there, or were you just taping
yeah,
yourself?
Yeah, no, I streamed via the PS4, and then it ended up on it's on the YouTube page right now. I haven't deleted it. Just that's a nice little fun callback.
Oh, I'm gonna find this video. I'm gonna download it. I'm gonna write an article about it. I'm gonna put it up on LordsOfGames.net. I'm gonna be like, "This is our buddy Hector."
As long as you say like this band knows how to dance, that's all I care about. I take good pride. I take good pride in my dancing skills.
That's great. So what is like the first memory you have of gaming, of like sitting next to like a family member playing a game to like while on TV?
Oh, you're actually for one of the earliest.
Like your earliest one. Like, do you remember like sitting playing like Mario with like your brother or like or your sister or something, or like or like your dad's kind of like, no, you got to jump over that, like kind of like that, or
Yeah. So I don't know which came first, but once of my cousins over their house they had a PS1, and we'll always play Spyro.
Mhm.
Spyro, You're the Dragon, and Ape Escape. Those are two games where I was just like, okay, yeah, these are fun. These are really cool. Another was with my other cousin playing Crash Bandicoot, and that was just hard as hell. Um, I don't think we ever finished it because it was just so hard. And yeah, those are probably like the earliest games. And then when I got my own PS1, me and my cousins would play Crazy Taxi. And I'll always play this little disc called Jam Pack, which was just a disc full of demos on it. And this one had everything from like snowboarding to Spyro to Spider-Man. And I just played that constantly since I didn't have money I didn't have money myself because I was too young, and my parents weren't really like, oh, let's get him a game every now and then. I was very simple when it came to my gaming taste back then.
Back back in the day, when you used to buy, like PC Gamer magazines, they used to throw that like the demo disc. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't remember what magazine it was, but it was just a little disc called Jam Pack, and again, it had a whole bunch of demos on it. That was like the one thing I would go to every time I come from school.
Yeah, they what's it called? They like I remember getting those discs for PC and then popping them in and like playing a whole bunch of games on them, and I was just like, this is awesome. This is great. Like this is like because it
Yeah,
was like you had like the option to play all the different games, and now you can essentially just get Game Pass and do the same thing, which is an
yeah,
amazing thing.
yeah. Essentially, yeah. It wasn't until I walked into a Blockbuster and I saw they were replacing all the PS1 rentals with PS2 games, and I was like, all right, something's got to change here. I got to ask for a PS2. And then now the same year Kingdom Hearts came out, so that's when it kind of kicked off there. And I was like, wow, gaming is a lot more than just levels and funny characters and everything. There's actually a good way to tell narratives.
Yeah, I think that narrative games like I felt like when the regular Nintendo was out, it had the ability to produce a really good like there's a couple of games that had really good narratives, storylines. For instance, like the Final Fantasy games, that's what they're known for, like their storylines. Um, those are the ones that really stand out for me. And then going to like Sega Genesis, I mean, there really was maybe a handful of JRPGs, but I didn't feel like they didn't really come into their own until PlayStation 2 hit, until like actual full-fledged stories, like which is nice because now I feel that more games are story driven and have background and they get you invested.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's what kind of like led me to be like, all right, gaming's a little more than just all these levels and 20 characters. And again, like you were saying before with uh, Final Fantasy, for sure. Like I remember I playing Kingdom Hearts has Final Fantasy characters in it, so immediately I was already interested in Final Fantasy from the start, and that's when I actually started playing the games for them. And even though they're around the time I was playing them, maybe like 10, 12 years old around that time, maybe how old these games were, but I started playing games like Final Fantasy 7 and then 6 and 8 and all the ones from there, and it was just like, oh my god, like this started way before I even thought like these games were more than just what they were,
Yeah,
or at least how I played them. So it's absolutely mind blowing what you can achieve in a video game when it comes to narrative based storytelling, and we're making some amazing strides with it.
yeah, yeah. It's really really interesting. Um, MJ, do you happen to have any questions for
I
Hector?
do not.
You don't. What about you,
Mm-mm.
Miss L?
He basically answered the question that I had, but yeah,
Which was your question? Just curious.
basically like how he like decided that he wanted to do go into writing and whatnot, and we had our Disney talk and stuff. So I do have to ask you. So have you? Okay, so have you been to when's the last time you were at Disney World? I guess.
March 2019.
Okay, so the Star Wars stuff was open, right?
No, they actually opened up at the end of August, I want to say.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay,
so
well,
we missed out on that, but it was
Mhm.
also my girlfriend's sort of her first time going to Disney World. It was the first time really exploring everything. So we kind of just hit the gambit of like every park and
well, how many
yeah,
days
but
did you stay? I can do my whole Disney quiz.
we stayed for 7 days, I want to say.
Oh, that's
Okay,
About
so
a
nice.
I've
full week.
heard that you're not supposed to try to go to like everything, even within
Oh
seven
yeah.
days. So, did you guys
We
focus on certain things?
well the I did the thing too when we started planning it. I was like, we can't hit everything because it's gonna be too exhausting. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be too much. But but I surprised her with the ticket to Hollywood Studios just to say like, all right, let's really cap it off. So we planned accordingly. We didn't like we didn't spend an entire day in one park unless we had energy for it. We
Mm-hmm.
would go in the morning, explore a little bit, get something to eat, come back to the hotel, take a nap, and go back at night if there's something we want to see more of.
Okay.
So yeah, so we had a whole game plan going with it, but it was definitely a little stretching it. So the next Disney trip we're going on, which is actually this year Christmas time,
You're
we're
gonna
gonna
pick
go.
certain things.
Yeah, we're limiting to like two parks, and so far it's Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and we're just gonna take our time exploring that within 4 or 5 days.
Okay, so last question about Disney World.
Mhm.
Where do you guys stay? Like,
We stayed at I think it was the Art of,
Art of
what was it
Animation.
called? No, not that one. It was the one that's based on films. I think movie was All Star Movie Resort. That's what it is. All Star Movie Resort.
is
Okay.
that a Disney resort
It
or
is. It is. It's pretty close.
okay?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's near Animal Kingdom, I want to say.
It's right. It's right by the beach, Caribbean Beach Resort. It's like right in the center. It's pretty center to everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
so it's not bad. The transportation was not bad at all either. I heard some horror stories that came to the transportation around Disney parks, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I know that when I look at like I stayed at the Grand Californian Hotel for like one night and it was like $700.
So when I went with my a bunch of my like two of my really close friends back in, I'm gonna say, '09. It was before I met my wife. We stayed at the Polynesian for 7 days, and it was way too much money than it should have been. But I
Yeah.
will tell you that the the quality of going to
Oh
those
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
it was crazy.
It's just like their cruise line and everything else. Like
Hmm.
you're paying like that $700 was like a lot, but that was probably the most amazing hotel I've ever stayed in.
Yeah, it's nice. I told everybody, I was like, if you're gonna do it, I went to when staying at the Polynesian was probably one of the smartest things we could do, because when we left Magic Kingdom, we ended up taking a boat directly to the Polynesian. So we didn't have to take trams, we didn't have to take any, we didn't have to go through a million different lines, and there was
Right.
nobody there. We just hopped on the boat ferry and we were just there. It was great.
That's super cool. That's super cool.
It was definitely nice.
That I would definitely think about getting a little more higher elite hotel stay this time around, since we are staying for less amount of days, and I saved up a good amount of money just for that. And at the same time, I have a friend that works at Disney World, so she's able to hook me up with a little bit of a discount for the hotels and stuff like that, which is always nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I got a couple of things I gotta tell you later. After we're done recording.
Sure.
Yes, that's. I'm sorry, Al. Go ahead. Do you have more?
No, that's it.
We'll sit here talking about Disney the whole time. I can tell that the three of us, will sit here and talk about Disney, and MJ is just sitting there going, "I got my beer. I'm good."
Hmm?
There
See.
you
Um,
go.
so one quick final question, but I think you probably already know what the answer. We already know what the answer is, and as MJ pointed out, G Fuel decided to steal this question from us. Uh, That was pretty funny when you texted me that. So, if you could live in one video game fantasy environment, what would it be?
Oh, that's a tough one. Um, wow, that's really tough.
I thought you were gonna be like the world of Kingdom Hearts. I thought you were gonna be something like that.
I would, but there's so much drama there, and like I just want to chill. Um, oh man, I mean, one of the things that first came to mind would, wow, I don't even know, to be honest with you, because there's so many like great worlds that I could just be a part of, and huh, that's a tough one.
Do you
Actually, now I think about it, now I'm looking at my gaming shelf. Probably Monster Hunter World. It'd be pretty badass to be a monster hunter. Probably against dinosaurs. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Is that like your top game right now that you've been playing?
No, actually, I mean, Monster Hunter World was my game of the year when it came out, and
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing. Um, but right now, the game I'm playing and it's just been taking over my life. It's been Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I love 14's great. I played it for many years, and I only started to lose being able to play it because I just didn't have the time, and that's like right when Stormblood. Like I'm halfway through the Stormblood story, and I kind of just started petering off. But I've watched a couple of people playing them and seeing the combat, and I say it's probably the best MMO out right now. And I think it's a very underrated game, and people should definitely, if you're playing MMOs, I would not be playing like WoW or anything like that. Even though I do play WoW because my friends want me to play WoW, but yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is great.
Oh yeah, and it's another one of those games with an amazing story behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think about it, yeah, actually, because I'm looking at my physical gaming shelf, I'm just like, let me see what can I choose from there. But yeah, Final Fantasy 14 I would choose as like the world to live in.
Mm-hmm.
That world is absolutely beautiful, and it's amazing what they've done with that.
And you get a flying chocobo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Better yeah, flying behemoth. I love riding the behemoths in that game. Just being like, yeah, this is my pet. This is mine.
This is my friend.
Exactly. Just have it rolling around, flying around. It's cool.
So why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. So let me actually.
Are you still there? Elle, you there?
I'm here.
Did we just lose Hector?
I think so.
No internet. I thought it was my internet. MJ, there?
Mine has been acting weird. The whole house is off right now, but for whatever reason, this is still going. So.
Oh, MJ, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Why don't we do our intro? Why don't we do our intros, our outros while we're waiting for Hector to come back?
Alright, you can find me on Snapchat at Beat101, on Twitch at MJ is a boss, and then Twitter at BeattyMJ.
And he is popping all the time on there.
Yep.
Elle, what about you?
All right, you can find me Tuesday through Friday on Mixer, 7 p.m. Eastern to about 10. And it's at LBoogie0208. And on Twitter, the same, LBoogie0208. And then you can find me Saturday mornings on the Grown Woman Gaming Podcast at 9 a.m. West Coast time, 12 p.m. Eastern. And then this Sunday, all the ladies of Grown Woman Gaming will be on the Iron Lords Podcast.
Oh, that's this Sunday?
It's Sunday.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. I didn't.
Hey, did I get disconnected?
You did. It was weird. Like you were the only one, so it was a weird little disconnection you had.
Oh, that's weird. My bad.
All right, you're good. So Elle, so all the ladies are going to be there on Sunday. You guys, everyone should definitely go check that out. And everyone, make sure you're checking out their podcast on Saturdays. I don't catch it live, but I've been checking it on Mondays. It's usually what I have playing in the background while I'm doing my work.
Cool.
It's good. It's a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Because I commute to work too, so I need some podcasts to listen to.
Definitely. Hector, why don't you tell us all your information, where we can find you, We ended up losing you right when you started talking.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, so you guys, I'm mostly active on Twitter, where it's where I shout out all my articles, and LinkedIn page, any career opportunities. So you guys can follow me at Twitter at Hector_Ram, capital II. And yeah, just follow me on there for all my content. Follow my Lothar pages for Lords of Gaming and CBR, and let's network. Let's have some fun, man. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. So let's hit it up.
There you go. And that's where you can find our buddy Macho. So I am Snaldo, SNALYDO. I am on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, not Facebook. I do that every time. Twitch, Monday to Friday, 7 to 10, sometimes later, and popping up randomly on the weekends. Check my Twitter when I do go live. I greatly appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out and talking and being able to listen to our podcast. I'm sorry for it not being live. My internet has been wonky, so that's why we are live now. We're gonna put this recording up so we can, all listen to it later. Like I was saying, it will go up on iTunes not Tuesday. I'm sorry, on Wednesday. I am totally screwed up today. It's going to be going up on iTunes, Spotify, all those fun places on Wednesday. So we will have that there. If you have any questions or anything for any of the people that are on the shows, please email us at roundtablestreamteam@gmail.com. Our Twitter page is TableStream. Go ahead and check us out there when you can see who's coming live and what's going to be going on, so you guys know. As everyone knows, Iron Lords podcast is on Sundays at, I want to say 1. My brain is so integrated with it being at 11, but it's at 1 now, right?
I think so.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I have it on the website.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I'm losing my mind. I need some caffeine, and and make sure everyone checks out lordsofgaming.net for our news and gaming articles from many of our panelists and a lot of our friends out there. So please make sure you guys and everybody check that out. And remember, everyone, to dream big and keep gaming. And we will talk to everybody next week, and we'll see you later. All right, everybody. Thank you very much, and have a great week. Bye, everybody.